A good evening once again. Thank you for joining us for the 10 o'clock edition of the UBC News Tonight. My name is Wadulo Arnold Mark, and it's going to be an hours-long bulletin, so do sit tight and let's get straight into it. In our top story tonight, President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni has passed out over 700 student leaders from universities and tertiary institutions who have been undergoing patriotism training at Nkumba University in Entebbe. During the training, the president emphasized the need for youth to focus on transforming a peasantry economy to wealth creation, patriotism, and Pan-Africanism.
These 750 student leaders from universities across the country have been undergoing a 2-week patriotism training at Nkumba University in Entebbe. The students were passed out by President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, who tasked them with the responsibility of transforming society from peasant economy to the one focused on wealth creation.
So therefore, from now on, when you get out of school, the first thing you should say, how can I be a wealth creator? How can I create wealth? Everybody, how can I create wealth? How can I create wealth? From 1 acre, from in yoga, skills, services, Boda, what? Be a wealth creator.
He also emphasized the NRM's 4 principles of patriotism, Pan-Africanism, socio-economic transformation, and democracy for one to be prosperous.
So what does this mean? It means that Uganda is the stimulus for wealth creators. It's a better stimulus than the tribal areas. And that's why we say, you people love Uganda. Why do you tell you love Uganda? Because you need it for your prosperity. We don't have to preach to you to tell you this and that and that. If you want to be all right, you should love Uganda. Why? Because you need it for your own good, for your own prosperity. And that's why we say principle number 1 is patriotism. Love Uganda. Why? Because you need it for your own prosperity. Now when somebody comes and says, we are Nyankwere, I say, stand in Vako.
In the president's company was the First Lady, who urged the student leaders to be change agents in their universities and communities.
To your universities, actively stand against strikes and violence and seek harmonious ways of solving problems. When you remember what I just said, that you have only one homeland on planet Earth, you must always use peaceful methods to find solutions for the problems you meet in this life. So when you return to universities, actively stand against strikes and violence and seek harmonious ways of solving problems together.
The Commission of Patriotism, Helen Saku, explained that the purpose of the training was to instill good norms, discipline, and reduce strikes in universities.
We have those who rejoin. We have those also who confess their sins every day, and those who forget the message of yesterday, but they are always reminded. Therefore, patriotism is a continuous preaching that we must live, we must practice and walk it. Be our foot soldiers out there, be disciplined, and be our ambassadors of change, not ambassadors of destruction.
The student leaders have commended the patriotism training initiative, saying it has transformed them into better citizens.
Patriotism. Always there's a question outside there that do you need to teach a Ugandan, someone who loves his country, I mean, do you need to teach them patriotism? Me, I would go like yes, because the truth is not all of us know our country, Uganda. Before you begin loving it, you first need to know it. That is why even a woman, when you propose to her, she takes some weeks to study you and to know you, then she accepts or refuses you. So that is why we say this training has been so nice to us. First of all, we have learned.
Recently, my major take-home has been about socio-economic transformation. We have always had the President of Uganda talk about things like okukolere kidda kyonka, and we would not understand what it means, subsistence. But from the lectures and discussions we have been having, we got to understand that even as young people,
we have been here for 14 days, but we have been under intensive studying of ideology, where we are able to connect the four factors of production with the NRM, how NRM understands them.
Philip Aguta for UBC News in Kampala.
A U.S. delegation accompanied by the Speaker of Parliament, the Right Honorable Anita Among, comprised by Dr. Roland Roberts, the former U.S. presidential candidate, Mr. David Woodruff, representing the Senate of West Virginia, and Mr. Siljanda Mark Daly, the former congressman and ambassador. During the meeting, President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni and his guests discussed trade, infrastructure development, as well as other areas of mutual interest between Uganda and the United States of America.
Called Ibrahim. We have worked for the regional market of East Africa and also of Africa. And we are moving very well. That's why our economy is growing quite fast. So, and then also we talk of political integration in some cases. Economic and political integration. Economic integration for the whole of the African continent. We are already moving. We have achieved the CFTA.
Cuban. No. He's the English.
Furthermore, 70 National Unity Platform members or supporters from Mukono district have officially joined the Patriotic League of Uganda, a pressure group aligned with the National Resistance Movement. The group, former coordinators of MP Betty Namboze, was welcomed by PLU Secretary General Daudi Kabanda and Director of Mobilization Michael Mawanda here in Kampala. In a statement, they expressed their commitment to rejecting political violence, and this shift signifies a notable change in Uganda's political dynamics, with these supporters now backing PLU. Let's have a look.
These are National Unity Platform supporters from Mukono district. 70 in numbers, they have now crossed to the Patriotic League of Uganda, PLU, which is NRM leaning. They are purported former coordinators of Member of Parliament of Mukono Municipality, Betty Namboze Bachireke.
Kubanga emirimu gyaffe gyafa mu kalulu ka Namboze ne tubeera nga tetukola nze obwana bwange nga wallahi sisobola nagenda mu office ya Honorable Namboze oba eyerisa kumugamba nti abaana tebasoma.
Na olunaku lwe nasanga Namboze nga waliwo munnaffe afunye obuzibu naye endabirwamu ya Namboze yayambuka waggulu.
Munuupu teri kuteesa. Bw'owakanyamu president nga gwokola ki? Ogenda ate babagamba n'okubagamba nti bwe mumala okuwangula twagala milioni 10 ku ssente z'emmotoka.
The poor service that we have got. We are previous actually, as you can see, if you visit Mukono, it has worst roads. The schools, government schools, are not well rehabilitated, and even our groups like circles, they are not facilitated.
The welcome event has been held at PLU offices in Naguru, Kampala.
They have joined us as the Patriotic League of Uganda under the able leadership of General Moskin Rugawa. We have welcomed them. We are going to orient them so that they become part of us. It is important to note that people have now seen the light, that they have been in the darkness. They are recognizing the great things the NRM government has done. As for us, PLU, we want to consolidate and build on the good achievements that the NRM has done. So when you see people coming, joining us, that's an indication of a vote of confidence, and we actually on a daily basis been receiving people joining us as PLU.
To most of them, they have denounced political violence and secured their future.
What I could say that when we have when we are well represented with a person who will listen and who will forward the problems of the citizens or of the people of the constituents, we shall also have, or we shall go somewhere.
The State Minister for National Guidance, Godfrey Kabyanga, recently met with the Kampala Central Boda leadership to address key issues affecting the industry. Now, among the discussed topics was on how to support riders in acquiring motorcycles through affordable loans. The minister also expressed his commitment to backing their initiative to organize a marathon aimed at raising funds for ambulances to transport Boda riders involved in accidents. Let's have a look.
A marathon and buy an ambulance which is dedicated to them, because they think they are normally mishandled during accidents. They appreciate police, that every time there is an accident, police comes, but it comes with what is popularly known as kabangari, these pickups of police, and the way they are handled, they feel is not fair, and the kabangari of police is not designed to carry accident victims. So someone just throws the victim behind and under the chairs. Boda riding, and to many Ugandans, they think you go there when you have failed in life. But when you look at the money saturation in the Boda industry, it is so huge that it contributes a lot to this economy. So let us professionalize it to make it likable, to make it competitive, and that's what I'm telling them. Please bring some discipline in this job. Don't ride when you are eating mairunji. Not that other people, other professions don't eat mairunji, other businesses, but for you, every time you eat mairunji, you are carrying some people are seeing you. But for me, I can even eat mairunji in my office and nobody sees me. So you should really live by example, so that people can really enjoy the ride, and so that people can also know that being a Boda rider is not that you have failed. You are making money.
The chairperson of NRM in Entebbe, Shaka Stephen Gashaija, has urged the public, particularly NRM members, to participate in the upcoming voters register update starting on Monday 20th next week. The initiative is crucial for ensuring broad participation in the 2026 general elections. This call was made during the flagging off of NRM mobilizers in Entebbe municipality, tasked with reaching out to the grassroots to identify leaders and assess the factors that led to the poor NRM performance in the 2021 general elections. In 2021, Entebbe municipality saw a notable loss for NRM, with many incumbent candidates losing to the newly formed National Unity Platform. The loss was attributed to internal party conflicts, including infighting and egocentrism, which allowed the opposition to gain ground.
Banange tetusosola abanup aba DP aba FDC mubalete.
NRM members, led by the chairperson of NRM in Entebbe, Shaka Stephen Gashaija, committed to resolving their differences and working together to identify potential leaders across all levels.
We have gone through, looked into the failures that we had and what improvement needs to be done. The team you see before you is the team that is of the mobilizers for the NRM that is going to go out there and identify leaders. They're going to go there and organize themselves to look for the votes of the president and all flag bearers of the National Resistance Movement.
The Electoral Commission is starting the update register by Monday 20th. So Team Shaka, we're taking them through what they're supposed to do as per Electoral Commission. One, to make sure that all those people are already 18 years to register the youth, to remove the debt, the transfer from each of these village has taken place.
Gashaija also reiterated his intention to run for Entebbe Municipality MP in 2026 as the NRM flag bearer. He said this during the flagging off of NRM mobilizers in Entebbe Municipality, tasked with reaching out to the grassroots to identify leaders and assess the factors that led to the poor NRM performance in the 2021 general elections.
We believe that as a government, there are things that we have done so great, like the parish development model. So we are also going down to understand what has been the benefit, how have we penetrated, what are the successes, what are the failures, and these are the things that we are looking at.
The mobilizers emphasized the need for unity, warning against divisions within the party along tribal and religious lines. The team has been tasked with mobilizing at the village level to address these challenges.
Moment of silence in recognition of those that passed away from us.
The U.S. ambassador to Uganda, William Pope, has underscored the importance of building capacities for critical staff in the health sector. Already, the U.S. government is injecting billions of Ugandan shillings into programs like the Public Health and Laboratory Leadership Fellowship programs, both of which have in the past 10 years facilitated capacity building for over 10 health professionals. Justifying the intervention as a crucial step towards strengthening the Uganda's ability to handle outbreaks, Ambassador Pope says that it's important for us sector players to embrace workforce development. Let's have a look at those details.
The U.S. ambassador to Uganda, William Pope, has justified the merits of capacity building of critical staff in the health sector. He was officiating at the graduation ceremony of the 9th cohort of Public Health Fellowship Program and the first ever Laboratory Leadership Fellowship Program.
This is work that is saving lives. We have over 1.4 million Ugandans that are benefiting from health, HIV prevention through the PEPFAR program, for this example. So this field epidemiology program today is one part of a broader response in being disease detectives around the country and around the region.
As of 2022, the African region is home to nearly 1.5 billion people and has only around 2,000 field epidemiologists.
This status, coupled with an alarming deficit of workforce in the health sector, threatens the health of the populace in majority vulnerable countries.
Let me also remind our graduates that you are entering the field during the time of unparalleled global challenges, from emerging infectious diseases like mpox, Ebola, and Marburg, to far-reaching impacts of climate change on health, antimicrobial resistance, and the rising burden of non-communicable diseases.
We've already had that there's a big gap not only for the country but also Africa at large. But we urge you, those that have graduated today, that first serve your country, please, because the gap is already there. I know opportunities are there. Adverts are always out. Affiliate has already said, Africa CDC is already advertising, but we request home first, please.
The Dean Makerere University School of Public Health, Professor Boda wants the fellowship program web spread wider to capture the increasing demand for health economics.
The health economics capacity in this country is still grossly limited, and I think probably that's an area we need to look at, even as we improve the monitoring and evaluation. especially also integrating impact evaluation.
The postgraduate training program that targets specialists is funded by the U.S. government through the Center for Disease Control and Prevention and development partners. This means the sustainability of the program is entirely dependent on the whims of donors. And it's right here that Dr. Alex Ario, the director, Uganda National Institute of Public Health, sees a problem.
In the event where CDC says we don't have money now, which is happening right now, because they're saying we are now cutting funding. So when they cut funding, government has to come in. And you know the process of getting government money. It's not a short process. It's a long one. So unless you have an institutionalized structure, which is recognized, legally recognized by government, you can't get funding from government. So that is what we are trying to push to ensure that we sustain the program.
Since inception 10 years ago, the Field Epidemiology Fellowship Program has passed out a total of 106 specialists, while only 6 applicants secured placement in the first ever Laboratory Leadership Fellowship Program. Dorcas Kimono, UBC News.
A senior presidential assistant for special duties, Fiona Barungi, has called on Ugandans to respect the rights of Uganda People's Defense Forces officers, underscoring that they, like all other citizens, are entitled to property ownership. During her visit to Nsamvo village in Luwero district, Barungi intervened in a land dispute involving Lance Corporal Matovu Victoria, a UPDF officer. Let's have a look.
Ekitegeeza kyama nisoma kino ekigambo bigamba abatuuze kitegeeza abatuuze b'obamanyi olutugenda kunoonya abatuuze abo bakoze damage.
Lance Corporal Matovu Victoria faced the ordeal of land grabbing while deployed in Somalia. In her absence, the village chairman, Sempala Dennis, allegedly colluded with one of Nakaya Najemba Scholastic's daughters to fraudulently resell Matovu's land to manlinders.
Yafuna obusente bwe Somalia najja nagula ettaka bwe yamala oddigula era n'alirekera muwala w'omukadde ono nga baali bamaze okutegeeragana ng'afuuse mukwano gwe n'addamu n'alimulekera alimukumire n'addayo Somalia era bwe yakomawo yasanga ng'ettaka lirigenze n'aleeta ebipapula era n'ensoma n'entegeera lwakuba nyina abalooyazi mu ofisi ne bantegeeza bulungi nti ono omukyala kituufu yenna nnyini ettaka naye baali mugobamu. Kati kye nakola awo kwe kuwandiika ebbaluwa n'empita enjuyi zombi naye abaagula omulundi ogwasooka tebajja ogwokubiri era tebajja ne tubakubira amasimu tekyatuyamba because tebajja.
Upon her return, Matovu was denied access to her 4-acre property, which she had legally purchased in 2019 from Nakaya Najemba Scholastica. After thorough investigations by State House lawyers and the Luwero Resident District Commissioner's Office, Barungi reinstated Matovu as the rightful owner of the property.
Tukomekereza ng'omukadde azeeyo mu nnyumba ye Viki azeeyo mu ttaka lye ebirala tunaalabira awo kati abayaye katubakuume bajje tulabe bekyo bagamba naye ate abayayi njagala kubayamba mbala tebajja ate kutawaanya ono wano bwe bajja wano nja kukomawo ate nange sijja babeera mulungi because first of all tebambeera mulungi.
Speaking at the event, Barungi issued a stern warning to Sempala and his associates against engaging in further illegal activities, emphasizing that legal action would be taken if such behavior persisted. The Luwero Deputy RDC, Saif Katabazi, also cautioned local leaders against politicizing land issues, noting that such actions often escalate conflicts.
Zekyemmanyi mukimanyi kuba obuzibu bwe tukyalina obunene bakyamani mufuuse ekizibu making agreement za mirundi ebiri olw'okubaka interest olw'okuba ki naye ne mulema kuyamba kituufu mbakakasa banno babuulire lwano tugenda lwanirawo zekisinga okunnuma ekinnuma kiri ki fe abasirikale mutufudde nga batasobola kugula byaffe.
Lance Corporal Matovu expressed her gratitude to the President's office for ensuring justice prevailed. In response, Sempala pledged to respect the law going forward.
Ndi musanyufu nnyo olw'olunaku olwaleero kubanga mmaze ebbanga lya myezi 5 nga mbonaabona n'abafere abajja ne baferako ettaka lyange era ndi musanyufu nnyo okufuna omukyala alina omutima omulungi azze okulwanirira omusirikale owa wansi
ne afande ono abeere ku ttaka lye fande simuinaako buzibu ate naye saagala abeereko nabuki baba waganye saba tutambulire wamu so afande biki saba
The Lango Cultural Foundation has announced plans to take legal action against Gender Minister Betty Amongi for failing to enforce a court order issued last year by Justice Philip Odoki. The foundation has also extended an apology to the Acholi community following an incident in which an Acholi woman was beaten by a mob in Lango, leading to heightened tribal tensions. More details in this report.
The leadership of the Lango Cultural Foundation has resolved to take legal action against their own daughter, Minister Betty Amongi, due to her failure to enforce a court ruling issued by Justice Philip Odoki last year. In the first meeting of the newly appointed cabinet of the Lango Cultural Foundation, the ministers discussed several pressing issues and resolved to take decisive action.
We have one particular person who has vowed through our actions to make sure that Lango is not peaceful as far as the culture is concerned. And who is this person? Is our own, who is the Minister for Gender, Labour and Social Development. She went and spoke in front of everybody that the Attorney General has given her a letter that the government is not accepting the ruling, the Odoki ruling.
The primary issue discussed was the refusal by the Minister Amongi to regazette Muzei Yosa Mudure Bey as the paramount chief of Lango despite a court ruling from Justice Philip Odoki issued last year. The ruling explicitly required the regazetting, but Minister Amongi recently publicly stated she would not implement the order.
There is no one who has got any order staying the execution of this judgment. She's acting out of the scope of the duty which the President of the Republic of Uganda has appointed her. And that is why we have resolved as a cabinet that she should be held accountable for her actions by filing a contempt suit to commit her to civil prison.
The Lango Cultural Foundation has stated that this delay has caused significant harm to the institution.
No, we are very unhappy about it. Government is supposed to be sending some money to support the cultural institution per month. On the insistence of this very same minister, we are not receiving anything. That's why you see us limping. There are so many plans.
Another major issue discussed was the tragic incident in Dokolo district where an Acholi woman accused of theft was attacked by a mob and later died from her injuries. This event has exacerbated tribal tensions between the Lango and Acholi communities.
We are also saying that we condemn in the strongest possible terms the killing of this lady who happened to come from the Acholi area. But we want to call upon our people, and when I talk of our people, I'm talking about Langi and Acholi, that let us not tribalize this thing. Because I don't think this lady was killed because she comes from Acholi. That is our thinking.
The foundation clarified that this was an isolated incident and does not reflect the values or sentiments of the Lango community. They are also actively exploring strategies to address increasing criminal activities such as domestic violence, alcoholism and murder.
This is what is happening in Lango, and we are trying our best to see how we can address this issue.
The Lango Cultural Foundation is committed to resolving these issues and fostering justice and harmony within the community. Eddie Ulwa, UBC News.
Thank you very much, Eddie Olwa, for keeping on updating us on what's happening in the north. Over 2,000 youth from Chegonza sub-county in Gomba district, particularly from Kabutemba village, have received training organized by the Rotary Club of Bukoto, the Church of Uganda, and various business experts. This initiative aimed to inspire hope among young people, especially in the light of the challenges posed by unemployment. The participants expressed deep gratitude and optimism, with many stating their intentions to start their own businesses by 2025, hoping to rise above poverty.
The Rotary Club of Bukoto, Church of Uganda, local business experts and community leaders have been at the forefront of empowering the youth in Kyegoza sub-county, Gomba district. The president, Bukoto Rotary Club, Choheri Aris, shared the purpose of the meeting.
Training the youth in developmental projects and giving them hope, because each of them has potential to be somebody. They only need to have the right attitude. And this is what we are doing today. We had a teacher who was teaching these people how to make money, who told them where he started from. You don't need a lot of money. Okay? We are encouraging them to save as groups, because the groups give morale, the groups give support.
The self-employed businessman from Mbende district shared his entrepreneurial journey and offered practical advice to the youth.
Many youth have sold their ancestral land to do small businesses in town, but as per now, it is agriculture that can earn you something better in terms of profit. I want to thank the Rotary Club of Bukoto to motivate our youth. Youth have come in large numbers.
The residents of Gomba also expressed their gratitude towards the Rotary Club of Bukoto, highlighting the positive impact of its initiatives in health and education.
Rotary Club Bukoto byemutukoledde bya ttendo bingi byesagenda kumenya.
The priest at St. Peter's Kabutemba Church of Uganda, Isaiah Sibandeke, encouraged the youth to embrace responsibility and honesty as a guiding principle for success.
Because this world needs a person who is intelligent, who is more encouraged.
The event culminated with a football tournament featuring various youth teams. Kayumba Stephen compiled this report for UBC News.
I beg your pardon. Muslims are encouraged to read and reflect on the Quran, as it is believed to provide solutions, to the challenges facing the world today. Rashid Nsubuga, the head of the Islamic Research and Training Institute and organizer of the National Quran Competition, highlighted this during a gathering with the Muslim community. He praised their enthusiasm for this year's competition and their deep love for the Quran.
7 years ago, the National Quran Competition was held at Masikiti Jamia in Kawempe, drawing prominent sheikhs and political leaders. This year, 40 selected participants will compete for the top honors. The head of the Islamic Research and Training Institute, Rashid Nsubuga, announced that the final ceremony will take place on the 23rd of this month at Serena Hotel in Kampala.
Today we're organizing the National Quran Competition. This competition is the first ever of its kind in Uganda, and we believe it's going to be the best of the events that we've ever had in Islam, inshallah. The competition incorporates students aged 6 to 20 years of age, and we believe it's going to be a very milestone as Muslims and Islam at large, and as a nation, because it fosters the peace, diversity and reconciliation part of it in this particular event. So we believe we are calling all Muslims around the country to come and support this event. We had our first press conference at La Pala Serena Hotel on the 17th of December 2024.
Winners will be rewarded with exciting prizes, including 2 brand new cars. Mutumba George Onesimus, representing the National Resistance Movement NRM, officially declared his candidacy for the Kawempe North parliamentary seat. Mutumba outlined his priorities, which include resolving pressing issues such as garbage management, decongesting Kawempe's streets, and addressing rising crime rates caused by overcrowding.
Jala kutwala obubaka buno nansasira famire ya Muhammad Segirinya wanga yafudde baka wa Kawempe North neera zenteekateeka za Allah tusuubira nti olwedde Allah yateeseteesedda omuntu omutuufu okujja ku kifo ekyo awe twalire essanyu n'essuubi basuubiza nti Mutumba George Onesimus ngenda kujja kadi NRM ate tugenda kuwangula akalulu kano mu mbeera yonna.
In support of the crown competition, Shamim Namvuma purchased tickets for male and female attendees and shared a message of encouragement, urging residents of Kawempe to remain resilient in these challenging times.
Kusaba njidamu nkisaba nakisaba ne ku Bati Valley munkolere enteekateeka buli omu muzikiti gy'ava nzije mbakyalireko ate n'ensonga ekwata ku musiraamu seeka bannange nsaba temundeka mabega mu mbeera yonna nze wendi ndi wammwe okuva kati paka ne wennaaba nnyingidde parliament inshallah ku nteekateeka za Quran competition nja kusaba mukkirize ngulireyo bamaseeka tiketi by imam tiketi 10.
Story compiled by Aluri Jimmy for UBC News.
The latest edition of Buganda's Chisakati Cha Nabagereka has climaxed at Janan Secondary School in Bombo. Let's have a look at those highlights.
After a fortnight of daily sessions to instill morals in children aged between 6 to 18 years, the Chisakati Cha Nabagereka has climaxed at Janan Secondary School, Bombo, Luwero District. This Chisakati that is now in its 18th year importantly aims at nurturing boys and girls into holistic persons, social managers and leaders who harmonize both traditional and cultural values.
We have to talk to them, not to continue. And so this is something that cannot be done by only teachers in school, but parents have to really be on the lookout to see what kind of changes in their children's life, like for example, the different habits they're taking. And it's not only the senior kids, the younger kids. It seems these people who benefit from the sale of drugs are now trying to addict even much younger kids, because they believe that if they addict them when they're young, they're going to grow up, demanding these drugs.
Its closure was graced by the Katikiro of Buganda, Charles Peter Maiga, who tasked the youth to practice what they preach.
Children ought to learn that technological innovations, especially in the area of communication, aren't merely for entertainment, but should be used to learn, to discover, and to reinvent. The Royal Mentorship Camp, where we are now, trains our children to appreciate our value systems, to appreciate our culture. And for this year's session, we are going to use technological innovations for the good.
Throughout its fortnight, the Chisakati attendees were tutored on cultural awareness and technological proficiency through fun-filled, hands-on, inspiring activities, which fitted well with its theme of blending culture with digitalization, as emphasized by telecom giants MTN.
This year's Chisakati has been nothing short of inspiring. It reflects the essence of tradition meeting innovation, values of aligning with progress, and community working together to shape a brighter future for our youth. At MTN Mobile Money, we believe that together we are unstoppable.
The Chisakati Cha Nabagereka attracted more than 600 youth from several regions of Uganda.
The Mandela Group of Companies has taken a bold step towards promoting eco-friendly practices by awarding a brand new electric vehicle to a lucky winner through the Lango tire promotion. This initiative seeks to transform Uganda's transport sector by encouraging a shift from gas-powered vehicles to environmentally friendly electric alternatives. More details in this report.
Shared a vision to provide Ugandans with world-class tires that meet the demands of our roads, our people, and ambitions. Through our combined efforts, that vision has transformed into an undeniable reality. Lango tires are not just products. They are a promise of safety, durability, and performance for families, businesses, and industries across the nation.
I received it towards the end of July. I have never spent even 1 shilling on it. It is just driving. I'm enjoying. And I'm enjoying excitement of Ugandans on the road. People are laughing, people are celebrating, people are saying, wow, this is wonderful. But I know how much it has saved me. Welcome, Mr. Godfrey
As you know, China is now becoming the leading player in the electric car industry. Nearly 60% of the new car sales comes from the electric car. So today, we congratulate to the winner of this new car from China, from a Chinese brand new electric car.
This is a proper genuine stuff.
Njagala okusiima nga ne mukulu Mandela wali wano. Sitaafu ye maduuka gaabwe baaniiza bulungi abantu. Era yekimu ku byantwalayo. Era buli lw'ogendayo bakusanyukira bakuwa ne kawunga. They are good receptionists.
Here's your chance to win school fees for your child for a whole year. Just pay school fees using Momo. Dial *165 *80#. Select option 2 for school pay. Select option 1 to pay school fees. Enter the student number and amount and approve the transaction. You are now entered a draw to win school fees.
Government of Uganda presents Post Buses in Uganda, operated by Posta Uganda. We specialize in professional transport, courier and vehicle hire services across Uganda. Our routes include Kampala Masaka Mbarara Kabale Chisoro, Kampala Mukono Jinja Mbale via Tirinyi Road Soroti Lira, and Kampala Luero Kamudini Gulu Kitgum. Our main offices are located at the Post Office Head Office on Kampala Road, with booking services available at counters 23 and 24 at the General Post Office. You can also book at designated district post offices along our routes. For inquiries or bookings, please contact us on 0751 684 184. Posta Uganda. We deliver trust.
Looking for instant excitement? The Uganda National Lottery Spin for Cash game is now available online. Wherever you are, you can join the excitement for just 500, 1,000 and 2,000 Uganda shillings. Don't miss out. Register now on www.nationallottery.go.ug for a chance to win your share of 2 billion instantly. What are you waiting for? Play Spin for Cash now, anytime, anywhere. Ituba is the proud operator of the Uganda National Lottery.
Uganda National Lottery. Dream, play, win.
Participants must be 18 years or older. Play responsibly. The Uganda National Lottery is operated by Ituba Uganda and regulated by the National Lotteries and Gaming Regulatory Board.
According to the Uganda Bureau of Statistics Census Report of 2016, in Uganda, 12.4% of the population, about 4.5 million, live with a disability. limited access to ICT and assistive technologies increases digital disparities, prompting UKUSAF's aim to promote digital inclusiveness for persons with disabilities. The ICT for People with Disability program aims to improve the accessibility of education and technology for persons with disabilities and promote their full and effective participation in society. UKUSA is implementing this program through the creation and maintenance of an online observatory for persons with disabilities intended to link persons with disabilities with service providers and different programs that empower them, and provision of adaptive tools that enhance their quality of life through ICTs and digital skilling.
This is so much smoke. How you doing? My friends told me about an affordable solution. They're called Greenergy BioStove. Very clean and very safe. Let me call them right away.
Wow, can you believe these things are in just 45 minutes?
Greenergy ethanol stoves and fuel. Enjoy cleaner, healthier and affordable cooking. Cook your food in less than 2,000 shillings per day. No charcoal. Stop deforestation. We are looking for agents across Uganda. Greenergy, Bible Corner.
Welcome back. You're still watching the UBC News Tonight, broadcasting live from Nile Avenue. African countries have been urged to invest more in feeding their young populations, as many are underperforming in the workplace due to poor nutrition. A demographic survey conducted in 2022 indicates that 1 in every 4 children under the age of 5 years in Uganda is stunted, and 1 in 10 children in the same age group weighs less than expected for their age.
A recent survey carried out on consuming quality food indicates that the overall quality of diet among children remains low. It is reported that 1 in every 10 babies aged 6 to 23 months meets the minimum dietary diversity, and only 7% consume an acceptable diet. This information was shared by Lawrence Haddad, the Executive Director of the Global Alliance for Improved Nutrition, during a media briefing in Kampala.
Malnutrition reduction depends on coordinated, powerful action from health, agriculture, education, social welfare, trade, industry, commerce. And to make that happen requires powerful leadership. It requires leadership that knows how to make connections and build bridges and alliances, and it knows how to sell the importance of the issue for those different sectors. So there's no substitute for leadership.
He emphasized the importance of proper feeding in workplaces, noting that good nutrition is crucial for productivity, which in turn boosts national revenue.
If you don't invest in your kids' nutrition, there will be no digital revolution. Artificial intelligence will not be driven. Economic growth will not happen. School grades will not improve. The health system will be burdened by people with diabetes and obesity, and you won't have enough public resources to drive further development. So invest in nutrition. It's not a luxury, it's a necessity.
Namukose Samali, Assistant Commissioner for Health Services and Nutrition at the Ministry of Health, stated that the government is implementing policies to improve the feeding of young children to ensure healthier growth.
We already have some equipment that we can start with, and we are looking for partnership to ensure that we do comprehensive analysis of these micronutrient biomarkers and also the food safety.
Eric Kakole, Assistant Commissioner for Policy Analysis at the Ministry of Education and Sports, added that schools should provide balanced meals to enhance students' learning.
School feeding, we also want to know how many children are feeding, what are they feeding on, where are they feeding, and how many have had a meal a day. So that is the information we want to know. Right now, we don't know who is feeding, who is not feeding. So once we start digitalizing school feeding information, we shall be able to know this information in real time, and we are able to plan and program efficiently.
Eric Musinguzi, Country Director of GAIN Uganda, highlighted that they have signed a memorandum of understanding with the Ugandan government to promote proper feeding practices in workplaces, a program supported by the Prime Minister's office.
A lot of work of nutrition programs in Uganda that we are implementing with many partners, both in public and private institutions. Workforce nutrition, as you've said, is one of those. It is so important for both the government and the private sector, because if your workforce is not well fed, their production and productivity is much lower.
Here's school fees for your child for a whole year. Just pay school fees using Momo. Dial *165 *80#. Select option 2 for school pay. Select option 1 to pay school fees. Enter the student number and amount and approve the transaction. You will now enter the draw to win school fees.
Seems to me now that the dreams we had before are all dead. Nothing more.
The holiday table is set. Steam rises from freshly prepared dishes. Family photos line the walls, but one chair remains empty. An empty chair that wasn't supposed to be empty today. All because someone thought arriving 5 minutes earlier was worth speeding through that last corner. No destination. This festive season, thousands of chairs across our country should not remain empty. Chairs that hold our fathers, mothers, children, friends. Is your rush worth leaving an empty chair at someone's table? Drive within speed limits, because every empty chair tells a story of loss that could have been prevented. Speed kills. Drive to arrive alive. Tofira Kukubo. This message is brought to you by Uganda Broadcasting Corporation in partnership with Uganda Professional Drivers Network, Private Sector Foundation Uganda, and Maritime Cargo.
Welcome back, and we now take you into the world of sports, where thousands of Ugandans, including runners and fans, gathered for the 3rd edition of the Discovery Uganda Run at Kapchora's Boma ground. The event, founded by the world record holder Jacob Kiplimo, who will make his marathon debut at the London Marathon in April, saw wide participation. Let's have a look at those details.
As early as 6 a.m., residents of Kapchora had already arrived at the Boma grounds in anticipation of the 30th edition of the Discovery Uganda Run.
Discovery Uganda is a race that began some 2 years ago, and now this is the 3rd edition. And one thing I just want to say is it's now attracting over 4,000 to 5,000 athletes participating. And therefore, I want to take the opportunity to appreciate roster management from Italy and then Nike and Uganda's Athletic Federation for putting all these people to ensure that this activity has come to this level. Since now this Discovery Uganda has reached this level, And our aim is to identify more talents, nurture more talents, develop more talents, and then expose them internationally. So we are now calling that things now, these activities are becoming bigger.
The Discover Uganda Run is a brainchild of Uganda's world record holder, Jacob Kiplimo, who by the way is going to debut in the marathon this April at London Marathon.
I'm so excited about this because we are discussing about discovering about the new talents. For me, I'm very happy.
What inspired you into this?
I think to me, actually, I sit down with my brothers and we talk about it. That maybe we have to get something good for to discover, to nurture a lot of athletes. Yeah.
Many Ugandans trust you. This year, you're going to debut at the London Marathon.
So it will be a challenge to me, but I know maybe I will try my best.
He achieved it in partnership with Rosa Associate Management and in collaboration with Uganda Athletics Federation.
We try to develop the running here in the country. We did many years in Kenya. Next week will be the 34th edition of Discovery Kenya. And 2 years ago we started with Jacob and with his project here in Kapchoro. We hope to have the same bright future and to develop a lot of champions for this country.
The Uganda Athletics Federation, this is a welcome initiative whose theme of talent identification and community transformation fits well in its strategic plan.
As the federation that is mandated to govern, to identify talent, develop it, nurture it and develop it to higher levels. So, Uganda Athletics Federation is ready. And this year, let me just chip this one in. We are celebrating 100 years as a federation. And we are having several activities to celebrate. It is not just one activity. The whole year we shall be celebrating, but we shall be telling Ugandans the culmination of that celebration.
The Discover Uganda Run this time out attracted hundreds of runners in several categories, but notably the juniors exhibited determination to emulate seniors like Jacob Kiplimo, Joshua Cheptegei and Peruth Chemtai, but whereas the juniors is where the main focus was, especially with insights on continuity, the seniors category is what provided stiff competition. In other seniors, women is Rebecca Cheplagat of Prison Club battered her mates, while her club teammates Mutai Ezekiel finished ahead of all men with both gender winning a taking home of 3.5 million shillings. Other seniors that shared part of the 25 million shilling cash rewards included Paul Simoto, Eliud Cherop, Lois Chukwamoi and Chebet Rachel Sena. One thing we realized that keeps motivating these runners from Sabay sub-region to top of the world is incentives provided by individuals that have for long invested in athletics.
What is unique is that this hotel where we are is a founder of provision of services to athletes without paying for it since 2010. When you run and you are a very good potential athlete, you have provided free accommodation and food, and for 1 year. Especially when you win a gold medal internationally, you stay in the hotel for 1 year and you eat for 1 year without. Then you can go for another competition. Then we add you another 1 year. What we are urging the government now is to help us nurture the talent, identification of talents from this region by giving us some financing so that we can develop athletes from grassroots.
In the under-20 juniors race, in which respective gender winners took home 1.8 million shillings, Nancy Chepkurui was the best female, while Abraham Cherotich triumphed among the men. This Discovery Run has several aims, including promotion of education, economic empowerment, and exposure and marketing of talent.
A lot of talent is being identified. Previous winners are not the winners of this edition, meaning that the competition is becoming very, very competitive and it's good for the sport. So for Kapchora district, we are getting a lot of exposure and we are happy with the whole activity.
This year's edition yet again had a trail run, which Uganda Athletics Federation is insisting on in its quest to dominate all genres of athletics.
run is one of the sports of athletics. Athletics is all about track and field, mountain, cross-country, road, and trail running. So for us as a country, we are taking interest in trail running because one of the events that has never been happening. In the last 2 World Championships, while we were able to send a team to represent us in mountain running, we could not have athletes in the trail running. So we want to focus on that.
Other winners during this third edition were Praise Chesang and Elisha Keprop in the under-12 category, while Abraham Cherotich and Nancy Kepkori excelled in the 8 kilometers. Victor Chepsang and Shalom Chekwamoy battled all in the respective genders of the under-15 category. Even during this infancy, the Discover Run has already planned counts and has for the first time had foreign entries from the East African community for this edition. It was graced by the presence of some of Uganda's best athletes, including Peruth Chemtai, Oscar Chelimo, and Stephen Keprotich. Story compiled by John Burns Sentamo for UBC News.
And it is exactly 11 p.m. Thank you for being a lovely audience. That brings us to the end of our UBC News Tonight. My name is Wadulo Arnold Mark, and allow me to thank the team behind the scenes that make this bulletin happen day in, day out. Have yourselves a lovely night.
UBC, inspiring Uganda.
Parish Development Model, meno misegese madongo mulukin ma Uganda, ma President Yoweri Museveni owuodho i oro gana ariyo gi piero ariyo gariyo gatunga malwenyo gi chandi, kod imedo iko ngeri matich pa government tundore